Next, corresponding to cos inverse of cos x and secant inverse of secant x. The quadrant diagram looks like this. So what are the signs of cos in the quadrants? Cos is positive here, negative here, negative here. And what is the range of cos inverse and secant inverse? 0 to pi. So this is the quadrant diagram for cos inverse and secant inverse. Now, if the ray stops within the range, so you don't need to reflect it, you just need to measure the angle in the standard convention. If the ray stops in these two quadrants, minus has to be transferred to minus, plus has to be transferred to plus. It is, we are dealing with reflection about x-axis now. For sine inverse and cosecant inverse, we dealt with reflection about y-axis. For cos inverse and secant inverse, the reflection is about x-axis. So what you just need to remember is, negatives has to go to the negative side, positives have to go to the positive side. Now, let us take some examples. So, cos inverse of cos 150 degrees. Cos inverse of cos 150 degrees. So, draw the ray correspond to 150 degrees. The ray lies well within the range, so you don't need to do anything. The answer is 150 degrees. Cos inverse of cos 240 degrees. So if you draw the ray correspond to 240 degrees, the ray looks something like this. It lies outside the range, so you have to take this ray into the range by reflection. So negative has to go to the negative side. So on reflection, the ray looks like this. So if this is 240 degrees, this angle is how much? 30 degrees. On reflection, if this angle is 30 degrees, this angle is also 30 degrees. Now correspond to this ray, what is the standard angle? Standard angle has to be measured from the positive x-axis. So from here, what is this angle? 90 degrees plus 30 degrees. So the answer is 120 degrees. What is cos inverse of cos 390 degrees? So plot 390 degrees, corresponding ray. So 360 plus 30. So the ray looks something like this. So this is the ray corresponding to 390 degrees. So this is 360 plus this extra angle is 30 degrees. Now what is the standard angle correspond to this ray? Start with positive x-axis, measure this, turn out to be 30 degrees. Right? This is 30 degrees extra. Hence the angle is 30 degrees. So what is cos inverse of cos 3? As we have seen in the previous example. 3 radians lies in the second quadrant, but this time second quadrant lies in the range of cos inverse, hence you don't need to do anything. So 3 is the answer now. Don't need to reflect it or anything. Cos inverse of cos 9. What is cos inverse of cos 9? So 9 radians. So this starts with 0, plus, plus, minus, minus. This is the diagram. So pi by 2 radians, pi radians, 3 pi by 2 radians, 2 pi radians. This is 6.28 radians, plus 1.57, 7.8 radians approximately. Here it is 3 pi radians. 3 pi is 9.4 radians approximately. So this is 7.8 radians. This is 9.4 radians. So 9 lies somewhere in the second quadrant again. So how is 9 visible to you? So one complete rotation plus this is 9 radians. Now this is well within the range of cos inverse, so you don't need to reflect it. Just need to measure this angle correspond to this ray in the standard convention. It is starting with positive x-axis. Starting with positive x-axis, if you measure this angle, that will be the answer. So can you tell me what this angle is? So as you can see, this complete angle is 9. I want this angle. So as you can see, 2 pi radians plus this is 9. So if you take this as x, 2 pi plus x is 9. So what is this angle? X is equal to 9 minus 2 pi. So this will be the answer to cos inverse of cos 9. Cos inverse of cos 9. So let us compare this question with the question sin inverse of sin 9. So let us go slightly previous. So sin inverse of sin 9. So what is the value of sin inverse of sin 9? So let us draw the quadrant diagram for sin inverse. So plus, plus, minus, minus. So the ray correspond to 9 looks somewhere here. So what is the range of sin inverse? This is the range. So this ray now lies outside the range. So I need to reflect it about y-axis. Reflect it about y-axis. Now whatever is this angle is the answer. So I need you to find this angle. How do we do this? So here you have to use certain geometry. So how do we do this? Let us try to calculate this. So this complete angle is 9 radians. So if I just add this, if I go till here, it is 3 pi radians. What is this small angle here? This total angle is 3 pi. Angle till here is 9 radians. So what is this small angle? It is nothing but 3 pi minus 9. So on reflection, whatever is this angle will get reflected here. So what is this angle? This angle is also equal to 3 pi minus 9. So that will be the answer to this question. So sin inverse of sin 9 is 3 pi minus 9. Cos inverse of cos 9 is 9 minus 2 pi. So depending on what inverse ratio is asked, we have to draw the corresponding quadrant diagrams and try to simplify the number. Now let us also see quadrant diagrams for tan inverse and cot inverse.